The world's best are in Memphis competing while preparing for the second major of the year.
Welcome to PGA Tour Today, presented by MasterCard.
This is an exciting point of the PGA Tour season. We're right around the corner from the second major of the year, the US Open, and this week also marks the closing stretch in the race for the FedEx Cup. We have just 11 events remaining for players to get inside that top 125 for the PGA Tour playoffs. The FedEx St. Jude Classic is a key tournament this late in the season. There are 20 PGA Tour rookies in the field this week while competing against 14 major championship winners in the field, including defending US Open champion Rory McIlroy. McIlroy committed to the FedEx St. Jude Classic in hopes of getting his game back on point to defend his title next week. Northern Irishman has had a rough 3 weeks, missing his last 3 consecutive cuts, marking the first time we've seen a slump like this from the young star since his 2008 season on the European Tour. This is McIlroy's second start at this event. In 2010, he finished in a tie for 29th. The world number 2 will be teeing it up with a very familiar group, fellow Irishman Graham McDowell, who won the 2010 US Open, and Patrick Harrington, who has victories at the Open Championship and PGA Championship. Defending champion Harrison Frazier will be teeing it up with Dustin Johnson, who returned last week after a 2-month hiatus from battling a back injury, and he recorded a top 20 finish. He'll also be teeing it up with 2-time champion here Justin Leonard. Now let's take a look at the guys that our PGATour.com's Rob Bolton thinks you should be starting on your fantasy team this week. The number 1 guy you should have active this week is Zach Johnson, who won 2 weeks ago at Colonial. Johnson has 2 top 15 finishes in 3 starts here and is 3rd on tour in bogey avoidance. Northern Irishman Graham McDowell would be a good choice this week. He tied for 7th here in 2009, and he leads the tour in fairways hit. Martin Laird, who finished in a tie for 2nd at the Players' Championship, would be a good guy to put on your roster, as well as Charles Howe III and David Toms. The sleeper this week will be Bob Estes, who won here in 2001. He's having a solid 2012 with 5 top 25 finishes. Now for more on what you need to know about TPC Southwind in Memphis, Tennessee, let's throw it out to our guys from SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio.
Amanda, we're looking for a great week here in Memphis. We had early rains early in the week, pretty heavy rains. Golf course is pretty soft. If these guys are going to get on this golf course, they got to get on it early, Thursday and Friday, because the course will firm up. The conditions are forecast to be very dry and windy through the week, but with the humidity levels down and the temperatures down, it's the best ever here in Memphis. Very difficult golf course when it dries out, and on the weekend it should be tough for scoring. Let's go to Bill.
Thanks, Dennis, and what a great field for the 55th FedEx St. Jude Classic, and it starts with the last 2 US Open winners. Rory McIlroy is here. He told me he got to this golf tournament, decided to play just a couple of weeks ago. He needs the competition. Graham McDowell here as well. Also one of the hottest players on the PGA Tour, Zach Johnson, loves the toughness of this golf course. That's why he's here. And Davis Love, who just made the US Open in qualifying this week, the Ryder Cup captain, is playing here as well. What a great field. We're all excited about it to be in the home of Elvis. Dennis Paulson, he's all shook up. Tom Wormy has his blue suede shoes and will be walking in Memphis all week long with the stars of the PGA Tour. We will be on the air noon Eastern with round 1 coverage on SiriusXM PGA Tour Radio. Let's return to sender, Amanda.
Thanks, guys. You can catch live round 1 action on Golf Channel from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. And the second major of the year on the Champions Tour is here, the Regions Tradition. You can see that on Thursday on Golf Channel from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m.
PGA Tour Today is presented by MasterCard, which invites you to play like a PGA Tour player at select TPC courses. MasterCard is a proud sponsor of the PGA Tour.